My name is Anne, and the claim that I will be refuting today is a lower legal drinking age in America would help promote more responsible drinking. So my opponent's secondary claims are that lowering the drinking age would lower the thrill of breaking the law while drinking illegally, which would lower the desire to drink as much. And his second claim is that the legal drinking age / regulation does not keep those underage from drinking alcohol. And his last claim is that people who are under 21 do not seek help when they drink too much. So let's start with the first claim, which was lowering the drinking age would lower the thrill of breaking the law while drinking illegally, which would lower the desire to drink as much. So this claim talks about the desire to drink, which does not correlate to the main claim about the responsibility behind drinking. And also the speaker provides only hypothetical examples rather than actual evidence. So to review his example, he gave an example of how his father bought orange juice, and so his father told him not to drink it, but he wanted to drink it anyways. So he took a sip, and he thought to himself that if my father's gonna notice anyway, so might as well drink some more. But I don't believe that he drank the orange juice for the thrill of getting in trouble with his father, but rather he drank it because he likes to drink the orange juice, which is why people drink alcohol in the first place, not for the thrill of breaking the law, but rather because they enjoy drinking. And his second claim was that the legal drinking age / regulation does not keep those underage from drinking alcohol. So the speaker is advocating a law that promotes drinking at a younger age, which harms American youth, because according to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, drinking at an early age may upset the critical hormonal balance necessary for normal development of organs, muscles, and bones. And also, according to Planned Parenthood, puberty usually happens between the ages of 9 and 17. And the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons states that between 10 and 20 years of age is when the peak bone mass is established. So by lowering the drinking age, even younger children would be drinking. And according to the facts I just gave, it would definitely be a lot worse for younger children because they may be just going through puberty and they're already consuming alcohol. We should not create a law that harms the next generation, but by passing this as a law, instead of telling teens it's wrong to drink alcohol, we're actually supporting them to drink. And my opponent's third claim is that people who are under 21 do not seek help when they drink too much. The example given was about Carson Starkey, who was 18 and he lost consciousness after drinking too much alcohol. However, what the speaker failed to point out was why his fraternity members decided to take him home instead of to the hospital. So Starkey wasn't taken to the hospital because he actually regained consciousness. And the speaker also said that they didn't want to take him home because they didn't want to get in trouble. But it was probably because they thought he was fine since he regained consciousness. And according to Google, the physician-patient privilege is a legal concept related to the medical confidentiality that protects communications between a patient and his or her doctor from being used against a patient in court. So even if someone underage were to go to the doctors from too much alcohol, attorneys cannot use this against them. So in conclusion, I've proven that his secondary claims are inconsistent with his primary claim. Hence, his primary claim has no proper grounds.
Thank you. All right, structural stuff is good. It's easy to follow. On the first point, the difference between responsibility and desire, I'm not exactly sure what that gets you. The challenge on his hypothetical is okay. Of course, it's his own position, so it's awfully hard to refute the testimony of the advocate in that particular situation. You say people like drinking. So what we need here is some evidence that says that people engage in drinking for social purposes because of the pressures that are put on them by their peers, because of traditions, rather than they do it for this thrill of, the forbidden fruit sort of thing. The idea, and speaking of hypotheticals, the idea that people would drink more responsibility at a frat party if the drinking age was lowered, it just seems counterintuitive to me. Now, I don't know. You guys ever go to frat parties? You see how people drink there? You think they would drink differently if it was legal versus if it was illegal? I'm going to drink less because it's now legal for me. I think the idea is that most people in those situations drink for the purpose of getting intoxicated and having, the good time that
Children?
ultimately that's what ultimately some of them, that's what they end up having, so I think there's more argument to be made here. You've got the right claim, but you don't really have much proof on your counterclaim on that particular point. The second argument, I thought that you did a good job suggesting what a counterclaim would be, but you need evidence that says that more people would drink if we lowered the drinking age. The advocate's already saying drinking age isn't keeping people from drinking. Well, if the drinking age is lowered and people who are 14 or 12 are already drinking when the drinking age is 21, let's believe that it's going to be lower if we lower the drinking age to 18. You have to give us some reason to believe that there would be a difference in the number who are drinking. And again, I don't think that would be hard to find, so you need that kind of follow through. You've got the right issue, but there's not really much development of the proof on that particular point. And I think you could also, and your analysis on the third point, I thought was pretty reasonable, given the way it was described in this particular situation. I like that last point that you have also. There's doctor-patient confidentiality. No doctor is going to be calling the cops and saying, they brought in a guy who's intoxicated, come arrest the guys who brought him in. That makes no sense whatsoever. This is one of those invented issues that I think people use as a justification here, and I think you could point that out pretty well. I thought you did a pretty nice job speaking to the audience during the presentation also.